Welcome to the Detroit Lions Live Cure Auto Insurance post-game show from Green Bay. There's the final score, 34-20. Detroit Lions getting it done on the road once again in prime time. And this was a great defensive effort coming from the Detroit Lions. Just 20 points on that Green Bay scoreboard. But that doesn't really speak to the whole picture that we're about to talk about. Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. Thanks so much for joining us. What stuck out to me, first half, 20 total yards for Green Bay's offense and just 3 points. What in the world did Detroit's defense do?
Oh, my goodness. They brought what they did last week, this week to Lambeau. It traveled. Like we say, defense travels. And when you have a good defense, when you have a great defense like we're building in Detroit, it travels well. They came here today. They took care of business. We were violent from the first play on, and I think that set the tone, Danny.
Detroit Lions run defense allowed the fifth fewest rushing yards across the league, just 216 through the first 3 weeks. They allowed 44 last week against a run-happy Atlanta offense. This week, Green Bay, 27 yards on the ground.
That's what I'm talking about, Danny.
Music to your ears, Lomas.
Absolutely, because, again, that's where it starts and stops at. I know Atlanta wanted to run the ball. I know Green Bay came into the game today wanted to establish the run. They got Aaron Jones back today. They had Big Dylan out there today. But the Detroit defense said we won't have none of that today. They really controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides. But they really controlled it on the defensive side, and you can see it.
And Detroit defense was like, yeah, we're doing our part. Jerry Jacobs, 2 interceptions. Offense, you can go out there for 38 minutes. We're going to hang tight over here on the sideline.
Absolutely. Don't worry about the offense. You can even have a little lull through the middle of the game. And guess what? We're going to take care of you on the defensive side of the ball.
No, that's exactly it. So many 4 sacks coming off of a 7-sack performance last week against Atlanta. They're sustaining this violent, tough defense up front.
And I'm telling you what I love about it, Danny. We're doing it with 4 guys. We don't have to bring safeties. We don't have to bring corners or linebackers. Our front 4 guys are able to get pressure. And when they're not getting sacks, they're getting hits. They're getting pressure. The quarterback really feels them. And I think Jordan Love, especially in the second half, he really felt that defense coming down on them.
I really want to hear what head coach Dan Campbell has to say about this dominant performance from his Lions. He's at the podium now. Let's head to head coach.
All right, that was outstanding. You know, that was a fun one for the guys, and you know, it was a total team effort. You know, and it's easy to go through here, and it's actually not easy to go through here and start picking out individual players. There's a ton of guys that played really well, but you know, I didn't realize this, but that was David Montgomery's first time to get a win against the Packers, so that's pretty impressive. And 3 touchdowns, first time that we've had a Lions running back that's gotten that here at Lambeau, so that's pretty impressive. But look, our defense continues to play well. I thought they were a force today. We talked about having the energy and our intensity and being able to deliver in the tough moments, and I thought we did that. You know, I thought we did that, and offensively we were able to move the football. We ran it well. You know, we had a couple of shaky spots, but man, we closed that game out with the offense, and special teams continues to play well for us. So it was a great team effort, man. Everybody had a hand in that one.
And Montgomery about coming out starting fast to the season, get off to a 3-1 start, set the tone for his first division victory. I guess what does it do for you guys? That first division victory kind of set the tone for the NFC.
Well, I think it's, look, you talk about, you know, we have our own standards, our own goals of what we wanted to do, and certainly one of those is to win division. You got to win. You know, you got to win your division games, and man, if you can get them on the road, that goes a long way. So we knew that, and this is important. You know, it's not the end-all, be-all, but it is important. And so to be able to get a division win, it's also a conference win. That's also 2 wins in a row. It's on the road. You know, puts us 3-1 at the quarter. I'm really happy with where we're at. I'm proud of the guys, the staff, everybody. I mean, that was outstanding. You know, to be able to snap back on a short week with that type of performance was really good.
Montgomery came into this one questionable. Ran the ball 32 times. Was that part of your game plan going in confident, or was that, or did you need to kind of see it and play that one by ear?
No, I felt pretty good by yesterday. By yesterday evening, I was able to watch him the day before, and then just watching him yesterday move around a little bit, and you could just see the look in his eye too. He looked ready to go. He was ready to go, and you could tell his body looked ready to go. And so certainly we were going to take him where we could take him. As far as he wanted to go or his body would let him, and it was certainly able to go.
Defensively, 27 rushing yards, I think, for them. I know some of it was dictated by the score there late, but early on, you set the tone, stopping their run. You guys have been really good all year with that. How important was that for this week's season?
It was important. It's always important, that you make a team one-dimensional. But we felt like they were going to come out and take some shots early, and they did. They were going to try to throw it a little bit, and see if they could make some hay in the back end, and so that didn't, that they weren't able to necessarily do that, and so they tried to get to the run a little bit late, but our guys handled everything well. It was an outstanding defensive performance. AG once again has done a heck of a job, and that's 2 weeks in a row now that we're playing outstanding defense. And everybody's playing together. We are playing with violence. We're playing smart. We're disciplined. We're getting takeaways. So there's the signs of good defense.
That fast start, I think that was probably as good a half as you guys have played football, not just this year, but since you've been here. How much of that is due to the atmosphere being here, something that really got them going, and then conversely, that third quarter, was that just maybe you guys taking the foot off the gas a little bit?
No, I think, look, we certainly 8 months ago we were here, and so we know we're capable of winning out here. A majority of the guys that were there are here, so there's that. I think we do enjoy it out here. It is a pretty unique environment, and we've been fortunate to be able to go to Arrowhead and Lambeau. I just think they're historic places, man. There's an aura about them, and I think our guys enjoy it. I know I enjoy it. It's pretty special. So. It was good, and look, we talked about at halftime, that nobody should be satisfied. We can't let our foot off the gas, and look, man, they made a little push there, and but I'm not shocked by that. They shouldn't be shocked, and that's the ebbs and flows of a game. Just because you come out and you're playing pretty good and you don't feel like anything's going wrong, you'll get a shift. Inevitably, there'll be a shift, and they were able to make some plays. They hit a shot play right at the end of the third, and what I love is nobody got panicked. Guys didn't get panicked. Hell, they may pull it within a touchdown and 8. You can't worry about all that. You just got to clean up the errors. Everybody stay calm, handle one play at a time, and go do your job.
As you said, Jerry Jacobs a couple weeks ago, he's got Emmanuel Mosley about to be breathing down his neck for playing time. What do you think about the way Jerry stepped up with the 2 picks?
Yeah, it was outstanding, man. Jerry got us the takeaways today, and look, that's 2 weeks in a row. He's playing pretty good, and he had a little bit of a rough one. Seattle, every player does, but he's bounced back, and that's what we all expected from Jerry. He's a competitor, and it means something to him. He works at it. He works extremely hard, and he is competitive. So I thought it was great, to be able to get 2 of those. So. Look, man, he's very much a piece of the puzzle here, and Jerry will always be a part of this team this year, no matter what that is, because he's got plenty of versatility, flexibility to play defense, special teams, you name it.
Dan, as you said, quarter of the season past year, but you guys are great when you're in the driver's seat in the division. Having been here before, are you curious to find out how the team's going to respond to playing in the lead now?
No, I'm not going to worry. Look, maybe at some point here, but I'm going to enjoy this weekend first. But look, I think what we have to do is come back, and I know what you're asking. We have to come back, after these players get these days off here, and we got to refocus, go back to work, just like we've done the last couple of weeks here. Recenter our focus and understand. And I just keep making this point, man. Nothing is given in this league. There are no handouts. You got to go take it. And you got to earn it, and. You should assume that every game's going to come down to the wire, and every play matters. And man, we've done that the last 2 weeks collectively as a group. And as long as we continue to do that, no matter what, we'll always have a chance to win.
We asked a couple more questions about the fan base before, but you go from these historic fields, you go from Arrowhead, you go here, and you look down, you see all those blue. at the end of the game, like, how do you guys feel when you see our Lions?
It's pretty cool. We got a fan base. I mean, it's what you always think of, man, a player and a coach, you go on the road, man, no matter where I've been, the Steelers, the Raiders, all these teams that have these and man, you're starting to notice it. It's like, oh, okay, here we go, man. To your point, we go out to Arrowhead, there's a big fan base. We come out here, man, I was, and we remember last year, but you look and you see them, and once again, early in the fourth, late third, you can start hearing them, and they're overpowering the stadium. So it's awesome. It's awesome. You feel like there's a little piece of home no matter where you go.
Why do you think your guys play so well in these primetime games on the Lions?
I don't know. Look, I think, it's a good question. I just think it's something that we talk about, we prepare for. We always try to emphasize that man, you should really live in the moment. You should embrace it. You should enjoy it. It shouldn't be a stressful situation, It should be one of those that one day you're going to look back and say, man, that was a special moment to be able to play under the lights with my teammates, with these guys, and get a big win or make some plays out there. And so I think it's something we always talk about. And look, we're playing pretty good right now.
Today's last one, shot player, they hit at the end of the third quarter. I imagine that's challengeable, but time seemed to expire. You get an explanation for that. See that?
They said it was a catch.
With Brad Branch,
So what are you trying to ask? I mean, what do you want me to say?
I don't know. Time expired. Do you think the time was expired? Like, should that play have got off?
Oh, I don't. Look, I'm not even getting into that. I mean, it doesn't. I felt like it was probably about what I know it as anymore. It got off, I mean, because they're going to, ball's thrown, and they're going to look, or they look, then the ball's thrown, and then, And so it was 0, it's not 0. Wait, it is 0? Okay. Don't ask me. I don't know, Dave, to answer your question.
Real quick, last one. With Brian Branch, we saw the ankle early, came back.
Yeah.
Again, was that a re-aggravation or was that something different?
It was, same injuries he had earlier. We'll know more. I mean, obviously, it's good news that he was able to come back out there. So, all right, thanks. Yep. All right, that was.
The Chicago game?
Minnesota?
No. Getting Cure Auto Insurance.
Are you for real?
Seriously. When I got here in Michigan, car insurance was the worst. But saving up to 40% by switching to Cure was my best catch.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to cure.com to see how you can save. Welcome back to the Detroit Lions Live postgame show. I have a feeling every team that steps up to the plate, takes on these Detroit Lions, are going to give them their best shot, and Lions are going to answer back. That's just how it is now.
It's different now, Danny. We couldn't say that in the past, but it's different now.
Quarterback Jared Goff, bumpy start to this one. First offensive drive, throws a pick. He didn't have a bumpy road after that.
No. It seems like once he gets that out of his system, then it's like, boom, Jared is so hot, man. He's so consistent. Hot meaning throwing the ball.
Yeah, sure, Lomas.
For everybody out there.
He's engaged, okay?
But, I mean, the guy, he gets on the roll. He takes such command of that offense and makes great decisions. Like I say, he had to get that one hiccup out, and after that, he's good to go.
Well, he's had 3 hiccups in a row.
That's true.
I know he wants them, all 3 of those back. I don't intend on that continuing to happen this season, but I'm actually mad at our graphics person, Dustin, because he didn't put rushing yards on there for Jared Goff. Man had 11 last time I checked. That's a dual threat quarterback. Put respect on his name. Put those rushing yards in there.
If he had been a little faster, he might have got in that end zone. He was picking them up and putting them down, Danny, just not fast enough.
Well, you were complimenting him. You no longer are. Jared Goff is the guy to lead this offense right now, but I want to talk about St. Brown as well. When Jared Goff needs a weapon to flash across the middle, get a first down, or an explosive play, Amon-Ra St. Brown keeps popping up. Here we're going to take a look at his total stats. 5 receptions for 56 yards, so that's about 10 yards a catch tonight.
Danny, it's just unbelievable. Again, we say it game after game. This guy's always open. He always gets himself open. He always presents a great target for Jared. And I know Jared has to look for him because, again, we talk about security blankets. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, he has to be the ultimate security blanket for our quarterback, Jared Goff.
I'm going to challenge that security blanket with wide receiver Josh Reynolds. Did
you go with
Come
Josh.
on.
I was going to go with Sam Laporta.
Dang it, there's too many. I'm going with Josh Reynolds right now because in that first quarter, he had back-to-back catches of 23 and 26 yards. Explosive plays, first downs when this team needed it. Look at that. 3 receptions, average 23 yards a catch.
Yeah, that's big. That's big, Danny, and I like that, and that comes at a needed time for us. So Josh, yes, Josh been with Jared the longest.
Yep.
He knows Jared. So, yes, I can kind of expect him to be like a little blanket. But the big blanket, that weighted blanket, Sam Laporta.
It is
baby.
Sam Laporta, the rookie tight end, now has the most receiving yards through his first career games than any other tight end in NFL history. This is history in the making with Sam Laporta.
And think about some of the tight ends. You got Jason Kelsey.
Travis.
No, Travis, thank you.
Fine.
I got my Kelseys
I know.
wrong. Thank you.
I know, they look so similar.
But you think about all the great tight ends that are in this game, and he's doing stuff that they've never done before. And the great thing, he's a young guy. He's going to continue to grow. He's going to continue to get better and better each and every game. So, yes, we did a great job picking up this young man, and he's really showing us, what type of player that he could be.
He sure can. Can you ever have too many security weapons?
Oh, no, Danny. Look, when one security blanket's a little dirty over there, I go over to the pile and get my clean one. So we might as well keep as many as we can around here.
A security blanket in the run game is David Montgomery.
Yes.
I know the people, they keep asking for rookie Jahmyr Gibbs. Look, David Montgomery, he's a workhorse. He's very reliable. And this is the first time he's beat the Packers, I believe is the stat that we heard from head coach Dan Campbell.
Well, Aaron Rodgers used to say that he owns them. He was their daddy. So, it makes sense for David to come on over to us. And now he gets his first victory against Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
The Aaron Rodgers-less team. Yes.
He sure does.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's hear from the quarterback, Jared Goff, who's staying at the podium and much more mature than this guy.
Talk about David.
Yeah.
32 carries, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just you guys kind of rode him all day today.
We did, yeah. He was doing a hell of a job, and that O-line was doing a hell of a job opening it up for him. But even on the runs that weren't quite as clean, he was making something happen, and was certainly kind of the engine for us today and getting us going.
Jared, talked about this last week, the mistake early.
Yeah.
Back, you settled down, and you had a touchdown. But just the ability to rebound on the road, how important it was in this game.
Yeah, just again, bad play by me, and really, I got that's 3 games in a row now. I got to find a way to clean it up and not do that again. But like you said, bouncing back is the MO, and I've done a pretty good job of that, finding a way to bounce back when things are bad or you make a bad play, and try to do that all night. And wasn't maybe my sharpest tonight, but did everything I needed to do to win.
You knew they were going to make a push in the second half, and to have that 8+ minute drive, it was 12 plays and 75 yards to about 8 minutes. How rewarding is that to let the clock?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge when you're winning the game and you're able to run it like we were. It changes everything for us, and being able to just kind of wear them down, and also run clock. I think our defense kept us in the game where we weren't forced to push it down the field as much as we may usually have to, and it was good.
Jared, what's it like on the sideline in the huddle, just when that first half is going? Because it seemed like after that pick, you guys could really do no wrong. Your defense was playing, the offense was moving the ball. What's the level of fun that you guys are having?
Yeah, it was fun, man. It really was, and it's complementary football. That's what the good teams do. I make a bad play, they hold them to 3. They get a turnover, we score points. That type of stuff, and it's what the good teams do. And again, our defense played great, and you'd like to stop having to talk about responding to stuff and being able to get over the hump. But our defense kept us in it, man, and it made it really easy for us on offense to continue to run the ball the way we were, and know that they were going to get stops.
You've been on a lot of good offenses in this league. To have the ability to be explosive the way you were in the first half, and then to finish it with kind of a ground and pound, how unique is it to have kind of both at your disposal?
That's when we're at our best. You know, when we can run it the way we were today, and you got the play action off of it, you got some drop back off of it, you got all sorts of things off of it. That's when we're at our best. And I thought our O-line played great, and you know, gutsy performance by them too. I mean, like Taylor Decker banged up. He deserves a hell of a lot of credit for being out there tonight and fighting his ass off and doing his thing, and doesn't get maybe the credit he deserves sometimes at left tackle for us and what he's done. Obviously the other guys did their things too, but you know, thinking about him and his battle tonight was pretty impressive.
Sure, as the Lions have struggled, level for Green Bay, it feels like the tide is kind of changing. Kind of in your era, in your generation, you're coming through changing. How comfortable do you feel on this stage, and how does it feel to change this narrative a little bit in the process of you guys being on the winning end now? Yeah,
it feels great. I feel very comfortable with it. We felt like we really dominated the whole game. Maybe take out 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. Other than that, we really dominated the whole game, and it's what we expect to do. We have a good team, and we have a good offense, a good defense, a good special teams. We got good skill players. We got good line on both sides. Like we should do that at times when things are clicking, like they were in the second quarter, like you mentioned. But yeah, it's something we're comfortable with, and we know who we are, but got to keep doing it. It's hard. Every week's gonna be hard. Next week will be hard. So we got to keep going like this.
What does it say about your football team that you play the hero that people in both field to iconic places, tough places to play?
Yeah, send us anywhere. Send us anywhere. We'll be ready, and that's the way we're built.
You mentioned dominant. It's 2 in a row that really all 3 phases dominant victories. Do you feel in any way that this was a statement game, kind of proclaiming yourself as division favorites?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it was a good division win. There's still so much left, Maybe we have that conversation in December about, making that, hopefully a bigger win than this. But yeah, it's a great division win. The ones on the road are the hardest, and in the division they almost feel like they're worth more. And it's good to get these ones on a short week. They're on a short week. We get the long break now. It's a lot of fun.
You have talked about your comfort and confidence, though, just this season. Do you feel that through the entire roster right now, just a comfort level and confidence that you guys are going to walk in and beat anyone that you face?
Sure, yeah, we do. We have that confidence. Yeah, like I said, send us anywhere, line us up against anyone, and we feel like we can go in there and beat them. And that's a good feeling to have. Does it always going to happen? I don't know, but we feel like we can, and we have that confidence in ourselves and our coaches and each other, and we're working together pretty well right now.
When you say those things, right, they can beat anyone, you send us anywhere. I think a lot of people agree with that. How tough is it to not think about what this team can be, how good this team is? I don't know if you...
Yeah, I think it's not hard because it's so early. It's 4 games in. Yeah, we're 3-1. We're leading the division. We feel good, but at some point in the season, we're going to hit some real adversity. It always happens. It happens to every team. And knowing when that moment happens, kind of grabbing it and pushing through it will be our true test, and that'll come at some point. And hopefully it's not too bad, but you know what I mean. Like we're going to have to work through something at some point, and that's how we'll know what we're made of. I know what we're made of, but you're going to have to prove it.
Twice now in 9 months, you've come to land on walk-offs, thousands of Lions fans. So
yeah.
That starting to feel like the norm now.
They're the best, man. They're the best. They showed out tonight like they did on that Sunday night game last year, and yeah, that's a feeling that's unlike any other when you're walking off that field and they're cheering like that and on the road, and especially when you think about from where we've come, it's a pretty good feeling, and we got to keep winning for them.
And then on route touchdown.
Great game. Best catch you've ever made?
Actually, there was one better.
When? The Chicago game?
Minnesota?
No, getting Cure Auto Insurance.
Are you for real?
Seriously, when I got here in Michigan, car insurance was the worst. But saving up to 40% by switching to Cure was my best catch.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to Cure.com to see how you can save. Quarterback Jared Goff is responsible for 27 points, the most ever that Detroit Lions have scored in a first half against Green Bay. Now, we're talking about history in the making with Sam
my
Laporte.
goodness.
It really is history in the making.
Wow.
Another one for you. First
Oh,
time
my.
in over 4 decades, a Detroit Lions head coach has beat Green Bay Packers 4 times in a row. Dan Campbell. Done it.
Ooh.
Done. Boom.
Finito.
We're done.
Yeah.
I love how Jared Goff said, send us anywhere.
Man, love that. But see, Danny, that's that attitude you have to have. You got to have that attitude that you'll go anywhere. You'll play a team anytime. It doesn't matter. And that's the feeling. That's the confidence that these guys walked into the stadium with today and went out and proved it. So I love that. And Jared, when he says stuff like that, believe me, the rest of the guys are listening.
They sure do. And you talk about confidence. I go to the defensive side of the ball. I'm thinking Aiden Hutchinson right away, just in his second year. You never know. Still crushing it, bringing pressure early on. He's one of the Detroit Lions players who right off the bat is going to let you know that he's in this game. So he's got 1.5 sacks. Those came earlier in this game for 14.5 yards lost, 3 quarterback hits.
Yes.
He was all over the place.
He really was. I mean, I thought when he went, the rest of that D-line went. John Kaminsky, he got really active. You looked at Aleem McNeil, he got really active out there. So it's just great to see when these guys, especially when you got a bell cow like Aiden Hutchinson, when he gets himself going, then it really gets the rest of that defense going. I thought they did a great job today, again, getting pressure and stopping the run.
Up front, it was the likes of Hutch, Kaminsky. In the secondary, I don't want to forget that Cam Sutton hit that he delivered.
Ooh, I felt it, Danny. I was 7 floors up, and I felt it. Yes, I did.
So guys like Cam Sutton were making an impact, but the most impact made in that secondary was by Jerry Jacobs.
Yeah.
His first time ever with multiple picks in one game. I spoke with him after the game. We'll get to that here soon, but here's a look at his stats. Here's what I'm talking about. 3rd on the team in tackles today. 4 passes defended to go along with those 2 interceptions.
See, that's awesome. And again, his coverage was so tight all game long. That's what we kept talking about. Even when the pass was incomplete, he was on the guy. The quarterback he had to throw the perfect pass. Jordan Love did because of the coverage that Jerry Jacobs had on him. Like I say, he was on the wide receivers like white on rice. He was on them. He was sticking to them.
Jerry Jacobs' first interception of the game is our play of the game. I guess we had to pick one. We picked the first one because that really helped set the tone in the first half, and it let Jerry Jacobs feel what it's like to catch an interception. He hasn't caught one since last year, just one the entire 2022 season. Well, he's got 2 already through 4 weeks here. So here we take a look at it. Jordan Love drops back, delivers it. Oh my. Right over the middle is Jerry Jacobs. Tip by Alex Anzalone, the captain.
Drill.
Yes.
I love it. The tip drill, that's something that guys on defense, they work on that all the time. Alex had a great job, dropped that time, got in the passing lane, wasn't able to get the interception, tipped it up, and Jerry Jacobs was right there, Johnny on the spot. That was great teamwork by those guys.
And Coach Campbell mentioned Jerry had a rougher game against Seattle. Where did you see him grow tonight at Lambeau?
I think the thing about it is, Danny, you don't panic. That's the one thing I see the DBs do when the ball goes in the air. A lot of times they panic. Today, Jerry was under control. He looked back for the ball. He did everything he needed to do to either pass, defense the ball, or to intercept the ball. So it was no panic in this game today, and that's what I love the most about him. And you know what that means? The game is slowing down for those guys out there. Yes.
I love that. All right, I asked Jerry Jacobs the same question. Where did he grow after the game? Take a look at our post-game interview. Jerry, what is the message at halftime when you held an offense to just 20 total yards and 3 points?
Dan Campbell, coach, we got a great coach. He came in the locker room, just told us keep our foot on their neck. Play like it's just the beginning of the game, 0-0 first quarter. And, sometimes, we come out a little lackadaisical, but we had to keep that momentum and keep going and finish strong.
The defensive game plan was starting up front. Early and often, defensive pressure was in their backfield. How did that translate to the secondary?
Man, it helped us out a lot. Aiden, we got guys like Buzz back. We got guys like Aleem, guys like that. They're going to get to the quarterback and pressure him to make the quarterback throw it for me to make plays and make the back end make plays. So for them to start early, that helped us out a lot in the second half.
2 big plays for you, 2 picks. How did you stay one step ahead of that Packers offense?
Man, I just been studying them for a lot. They don't got the Hall of Famer no more. He the GOAT, but they good. They still got a good quarterback. But something to read. The plays they do, I was just studying, and he just threw it to me, so I made that play.
Your first game with multiple interceptions. How did you grow in this?
Oh man, I'm growing a lot. I'm still shocked. Like I still feel like I'm in college because in college I had like three picks in one game. But it's amazing to be on this level Thursday night and to make plays like that for my team to win. So I'm just blessed to be able to do that.
Thanks, Jerry. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love how Jerry slowed down after I asked him, how did he grow in this game? Because he could finally breathe. Gave a great answer. And he's one of the reasons that Detroit is walking out with so much confidence, especially in the defense. That's got to feel really good.
Oh, without a doubt. And think about it, Danny, when we lost C.J. Gardner, our emotional leader back there, the voice in that secondary, you were like, who was going to take his place? Well, it wasn't one person that took his place. It seemed like the whole unit stepped up. I mean, again, today it was Jerry Jacobs, Tracy Walker last week, Afatu Melifonwu with the big hits. All these guys are contributing, and that's what has to happen, especially when you lose a guy like C.J. Gardner Johnson, who was your leader back there, who's the emotional leader of your unit. Everybody has to step up, and that's what these guys have been doing.
2 bigs for Jerry Jacobs. I think Tracy Walker is also due. All right, on the other side of the ball, David Montgomery.
Yes.
We have to talk about him. Here's his full stat line after the game. 32 carries. He's going to feel that tomorrow, let me tell you. For 121 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yes.
This man had the game of his life tonight against a team he's never beaten before.
I know, that's just so crazy, but I guess if you're in Chicago, that stat line shouldn't be so crazy. But you're right. What I love about David, the first tackle doesn't bring him down, Danny. It takes 2, 3 guys to bring him down. He makes guys miss. He don't mind running up between the tackles, getting those tough yardage for you. And that's what I love about him. Plug and play with a guy like that. A guy like that, he could go on the road and get it done for you, and he could also get it done for you at home.
A guy like that is our player of the game.
Right.
We'll just watch his highlights. He walks into the end zone more times than not. He did it 2 out of his 3 touchdowns here tonight. The players love him. Taylor Decker, I think that was the one where he had a massive block to help part the seas for David Montgomery.
And that time, that was Taylor Decker and Jonah Jackson on the left-hand side. So you're right, those guys did a great job of just controlling that side of the line of scrimmage. And you're right, he was just walking.
I lied. Yeah, he walked in 3 times.
Yeah,
3 out of 3.
times, yeah.
All right, Lomas, your big takeaways from tonight, this big win in primetime at Lambeau.
My big take, the mystique of Lambeau, it's over. These guys feel like they could go into any stadium. Now, they've come into Lambeau and kick butt. They could go in any stadium and do that, and that's what I'm taking out this game. The confidence level should be sky high for these guys, and there should be no reason why we don't take care of our business, Danny.
Detroit Lions, they get a nice little break. All right, Thursday night football.
10 days, huh?
10 days. I mean, look, it's a quick turnaround. Didn't affect these Lions too much. They'll have, Carolina Panthers coming to town next.
Yes.
Another home game.
Yes. And we didn't even do anything for the victory tonight. We didn't even do anything. I mean, what are we going to do, Danny? I know the people want it.
Do they?
Are we going? Yeah,
I don't know. We need to rehearse.
We're going to get it better.
It's the sassy snap for me.
And it's kind of late for us, too, tonight.
Yeah, what's it? Midnight, 1 a.m.?
Oh, yeah. It's midnight.
That'll do it for us. I mean, this is a great game. Great way to show Detroit Lions can go on the road and get a big dub. 34-20 is the final. All right, for Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. Thanks for tuning in to Detroit Lions Live post-game show. We're going to get some rest. We're going to head home to Detroit. We hope everyone does the same. We'll see you back at Ford Field for the Carolina Panthers.